little update on what's going on with the CB. So we got brake light, decided to mount it up here instead of down here, because I was planning on possibly taking this and then having it above the license plate, but I don't want to run a bunch of wire up through here. I don't like the look. So I made a little bracket out of some aluminum, a little spacer, and so we can actually just run it right on the shock tower, and then this we can just do black and tuck it up underneath, and that'll tie in with the blinker ones. And the blinker ones, I made a couple of brackets. They are L angled, just a couple of L's, and then I have a piece of tube going between the two, which houses the wires. So it kind of keeps everything clean and tucked away, and they're just screwed in up here on the top underneath the seat, which will cover all that stuff eventually. But yeah, I'll paint that all black, and then we can run both sets of wires forward to join the brake stuff, and it'll all be tucked up underneath here on the side. And then the next thing would be to do license plate brackets. So I've just made kind of a standoff off the axle because again, there's really nothing to attach or to do on the back end here, because we don't have a fender. And if we did have a fender, I don't know if I'd want this license plate and a taillight and everything all up there. So we're kind of making it a little bit of a discreet taillight. And then down here, like I said, I've got this just on a magnet to see what I want, but this is an older license plate holder template that I had that I was just playing with to see. But I'll probably make a new one, make kind of like an X or something, and weld that on the back of that bracket. But yeah, right now it's in that phase, and we're also hopefully going to get into getting a cover made for this one of these days. I've got a friend that knows a guy, and we just have to schedule a time to get together. So hopefully maybe next week actually. And the other thing is, I went ahead and started stripping the tank, primed the tank, and there's just so many blemishes with the old paint still underneath there, which Honda did a really good job, so I'd have to go back down and do a lot of fill, a little bit of fill here and there, and I really don't want that unevenness. So I did find a place that strips everything, and I think for 80 bucks or something, the guy said he'll completely strip the thing. So then we'll have a nice fresh canvas to go off of, because the tank is really not in bad shape. There aren't any dings or dents on the thing, and even if there are, it'll be very minimal to repair at that point. So yeah, hopefully turn this in next week and get it all stripped off. Other than that, everything's still going pretty well with it. I fired it up the other day and it ran really well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you updated. So there's a little update on the license plate mount and the light and the brake light. I was going to run everything here, put this brake light down here over it, but I just didn't want to mess with wiring going on the swing arm and all that kind of stuff. So went a different direction. I made a little bracket for the taillight up here, and as you can see, it works, which is nice. And I think it's high enough and out of the way of the rear end of the rider. And then the blinkers work, which they're now mounted up in there. Made brackets, painted everything, and then hid the wiring up underneath, tucked it all up underneath. And yeah, I think it's just gonna be a lot cleaner look. So I made this little tube here just out of aluminum stock I had left over, and threw it in between the two to conceal the wiring. And on the bottom here, just kind of a matte black. I had welded a bracket on here and made little, you can see over here, the little lightning holes. Gave it a little bit of character instead of just a straight bracket. But yeah, everything's set there, and I turned in the seat to get done, which will be kind of a black, well, will be black leather, a little bit textured, and very small texture, and it'll have 2-inch seams going across, and the piping will go around the top of it, so it'll kind of separate the sides from the top. And then I got the tank back, which is in the house right now, but I had it stripped, chemically stripped, because the paint on there, I just didn't want to deal with the stripper that I had wouldn't do it. So I just went ahead and had it stripped off, and now it's bare metal, and I got to do a few spots on it, clean it up, and then we'll see what happens. So choose a color and prime and all that good stuff. But anyway, that's the update on the CB so far. That's all I got.